properly. I did not prepare properly. I presented myself as a candidate and I campaigned. That is all what you need to do. And then you wait for the voters to count. And then votes are counted and counted correctly. Then if you beat me, I tell you kweli, asante umenibit. But it's not this nonsense of kusimamisha, no streaming, oh, you go to atifuata sheria, atienda whatever, and you know what you have done. You are a thief, you meiba, makesi ndio hizo, and it has been proved. Immediately you stole elections. What do you do immediately? Is to bring in the corrupt judges back. Bring in anything that was wrong. Where's what una nini? What does that tell you? Surely speaking, does this man even need to have been there for 6 months? Sincerely, in any normal thinking community. Hata wa Kenya wenyewe tunaambua tungoje tu. Tunangojea nini? What ceremony? Is there a wedding? Kuna keki watu wanaenda kukula ndio inapikwa. Okay? It's a waste of time. If you believe this, mwizi mungatue. Ndio tujue. In fact, sometimes I always begin, sometimes nikiona challenges zingine, I want to arrive haraka. Naanzanga na the end. Like now we know the end. Tuende for the end quickly. Yeah. So when you find me being a bit harsh on them, is because I don't think we have anything in common. I don't see anything we have in common in anybody who believes in Ruto. Mutanisamea hiyo sioni mahali hata chai sioni mahali tunaweza kunywa. And I also don't believe at the enemy in politics you can be friend. If you are my enemy, I take you genuinely, and you become my enemy because of going against my principles in what? In either politics. Na ikiwa ukigeuka ufikirie sasa kama mimi ndio tunakuwa friends, but I never change. Because mimi si malaya wa siasa ati unaruka hivi. Like now all the leaders, what they are saying, they want to be on the side that there is power. It doesn't matter on what they believe. And those are the leaders we are talking about. And then you hear people supporting that they are not permanent enemies. No wonder African countries suffer so much. Because if you don't have a principled leader, then you are finished. Sasa leo, saa hii tunaongea hivi, if we manage to remove Ruto, you will see those people coming back. Wakicheka, wakisema sorry. Are those people you can entrust in any leadership position really? Today uko huku, kesho uko huku, unarukaruka hivi. In fact, that it's a serious issue. Kenyans should think. And they are talking, they are saying, oh, if you don't give me this seat, I go away. Must you get a seat? Like Akina Bandi, they have really let me down. Sincerely speaking, some of the leaders have really been respecting because hukupewa. So you are there selfishly. Can't you serve in the party just as an ordinary member? Sincerely speaking, can you all fit in those seats? Yeah. So I think I even tend to support Baba more by saying, wacha waende kabisa. Ni kuchungi, it is deceiving. Even if you remain 2 or 3 of you, you know you have the loyal members of whatever. Okay, welcome, Leo. I see you are here. Maybe Resist ndiye alikuwa hajazungumza, but Mr. G wants to say something kidogo, alafu Resist, then you.
Stone dakika moja tu. Dakika moja. You know, we used to have leaders like let me talk about Ukambani. We used to have people like Mulu Mutesia. Mulu Mutesia was
na utuambie juu ya Wavinya Ndeti amepewa nini ama ameenda room 350.
Na nimesumbuliwa na hiyo story mpaka Richard amekunipigia personally nimueleze what's going on there. But Mulu Mutesia was a blind man. He never used to see. But Mulu Mutesia was Kanu Damu. I swear to God, hata tulikuwa naenda kwa nyumba yake, there's nothing you could do with Mulu Mutesia to be a political prostitute. He could not. Angetoka Kanu. And he died Kanu Damu. Akiwa hata haoni kitu. Mpaka there was jokes. I mean, for those that grew up at that time, you would be told jokes about them being in New York and he could not see anything. I mean, so many jokes about Mulu Mutesia for those people who grew up at that time. You know, so those are people who really understood the politics of where you stand and what you stand for. The reason I brought Mulu Mutesia is because today we have kitu ingine sielewi ni nini, unarukaruka. People never used to jump. You knew Mulu Mutesia was in Kanu. Done, dusted, gone, out. Today we have politics of up and down, and ujui leo mtu wako wapi na kesho wako wapi na kesho kuto wako wapi. And you know what? They don't stand for anything. You know why? Even though that time was a national cake that used to be, today is not so much of a national cake like it used to be at the time, but people are just all over. There's just a political prostitution, something happening that I don't understand, that people don't stand for anything. Now, Stone PK, Leo, thank you so much for coming. Tafadhali tu dakika moja. Stone, do you really want me to answer the Wavinya Ndeti thing on live TV, or do you want to talk about it on the side? Unmute.
Well, you know, it's people who are asking on the comment side, but I think let's not waste time with anybody who wants to go can go.
Let me just give people a snippet of it. The Wavinya Ndeti is in Azimio Kukufa. The politics of Ukambani, the problem is Mudhama. So Wavinya Ndeti is fighting with Mudhama. Is not Wavinya Ndeti. And that's the reason the Mavoko thing was even supported by her. But Mudhama.
But why?
Mudhama is a thorn.
But Mudhama is not in Azimio?
He's not, but he's a thorn. He's pushing some things. Remember, Machakos City was Mudhama that stopped it. There's some Ukambani politics that is happening right there that is deeper than people think. The problem is Mudhama, is not Wavinya Ndeti. You're fighting Wavinya Ndeti wrongfully. Wavinya Ndeti is...
Who is talking?
Huh? Sorry?
I think maybe, sorry, Mato. I think Wavinya Ndeti is somebody who should not even be responded to. Wavinya Ndeti is fighting Nuru Okanga and the Bungela 190. So that person, you should not even waste our time.
No,
She's
you're
responding
wrong.
To, no, the
You're
last
wrong.
response, she was responding to Nuru Okanga. I don't know who said Wakamba Nini. So that lady is just looking for relevance in Machakos so that she can have some control. Ever since she was elected, I think she still feels threatened within the region. So she wants to win
Leo,
the Kamba support. Yeah.
Leo.
Yeah.
You're working on some grounds that I went through campaign. I was in this group, just in the same group, and I told people, relax. And they ran away, wakakimbia. If Alex was in this, kwa hii show hapa hivi saizi angekwambia wachana na hiyo kitu. I know what I'm talking about. Listen, story ya Wavinya Ndeti wachane nayo. Wewe ni mtu wa Kadhiani, I know her personally. I know what's happening out there. Wachane na story ya Ukambani. I told you Ukambani italeta kila kitu. Story ya Ukambani, the problem, the thorn is Mudhama. And that's the wife is with Wavinya Ndeti. There's a problem there that they're trying to sort of Ukambani. Ukambani is in Azimio, damu. Wachane na Wavinya Ndeti.
That one I have no doubt. And even in her sentiment, the people who are coming against her are the normal 190 from Ukambani. So Wavinya Ndeti, just as you're trying to say, Wavinya Ndeti anataka control of the Machakos and the people there. So it seems
anasumbuliwa na Mudhama. Mudhama is the problem.
Yeah. But Mudhama niliona ameshapewa kazi ni commissioner, parliamentary service commission.
No, ni msumbufu, ndio maana Machakos zeje hata Konzani Mudhama tu ndio anasumbuaga kila kitu. The problem is Mudhama. Let Wavinya Ndeti deal with Mudhama. And she's seem to mpole. Wavinya Ndeti knows how to deal with Mudhama. She was there. She brought Kadhiani dispensaries and everything. She brought maendeleo ya wanawake. I know her very well. I know what she's fighting is Mudhama that has been a problem of Ukambani. Let Wavinya Ndeti fight Mudhama with the semantics. But Wavinya Ndeti, there's no Azimio thing that is going to happen in Machakos that she's going to stop. She's going to say something for Mudhama and Nanamuingiza box. Wavinya Ndeti is very seasoned in dealing with Mudhama. It's just that now she has to do it because now she's the boss of the county. Na unaona Ngilu hajaongea chochote. Now,
but Kenyan with the love, there's something I'm not getting. You know, where does Mudhama come in on matters Azimio when you see what she uttered yesterday or the day before yesterday, the utterances, they have nothing to do with Mudhama. When she says, oh, Raila asifanye nini, sijui nini, musifanye hivi, wewe lazima ukue nyuma ya Kalonzo. What has that to do with Mudhama? That's why I'm not thinking.
Did you see, Jesus Christ, you're making me say this on live TV. Did you see the car that Baba used?
Don't know. Baba can use any car, you know. In
Machakos.
No, it doesn't matter. But why did she say that on TV? Those kind of very unpleasant statements. Anyway,
maybe
let
me help you. Let me help Mato answer Stone. Stone, it is Kenyan. It's Kenyan style of politics that when you want to gain some legitimacy, you create some purported enemies. Unatafuta crowd. Like anybody akienda Kikuyu land, kitambo ilikuwa ukitaka kusikika na watu wa kuamini wewe ni kiongozi wao, you are to go there and attack Raila. So Wavinya Ndeti, for her to get that acceptance, she's trying to appear that she's defending Kalonzo. And how do you defend Kalonzo? You don't defend Kalonzo by kumwombea kazi kwa Ruto currently. You defend Kalonzo by trying to show that you're protecting Kalonzo's future political relevance. That is why I don't see it wrong when Wavinya Ndeti goes there and says, ili Wakamba wakufuate, lazima Raila akuwe nyuma ya Kalonzo na aseme Kalonzo tosha. In that word, she's trying to bring Kambas, anawambia mnaona mimi natetea Kalonzo na nataka 2027 Raila aje a support Kalonzo. But the entry point of doing that, why I did not see anything negative with it, she did not start doing that by maybe attacking Raila or responding to Raila's statement. She is an opportunist who got an opportunity from what the Bunge la Wananchi, the Nuru Okanga, said pale Jacaranda, and as she was responding to that, akakuja akaingiza hizi vitu. So anybody, any political tool, wale wafuasi wenye wanamuona pale wataona ni kama Wavinya anatetea Kalonzo, so at least gain some momentum na watu wachane na the Mudhama whatever. But I think Mudhama na anampatia shida huko. That one I can agree. I know those guys fear Mudhama. I don't know ni pesa ako nayo ama ni influence gani ako nayo. But the good thing, however much they fear Mudhama have not been winning any political battle ever since achane na Kalonzo na NASA.
Leo, hiyo ni shadow boxing. You know, when you are the governor, you have the control of the county. Hiyo ni ujinga. Unapigana na Mudhama atakufanyia nini? Mudhama doesn't have whatever. He doesn't sit in the council. So it is very cheap way of doing things. Wavinya should entrench herself as a governor. Otherwise, she goes engaging with the Okangas. She will not perform. She will just be like the Kabaluku. Kabaluku is this other guy who she removed. You know, those side shows, Machakos is heavy. It's heavy. So if she starts those side shows with Akinanuru Okanga, she do excuse Mudhama is fighting her. Mudhama is not the governor. You know, you get my point. No,
let us go back to our revolution story.
Hiyo ni vita ingine utawezana nayo. Hiyo ni vita ingine mbaya. Hata unaona ilichapa Alfred Mutua wakasumbuana city kufanyika nini. Mudhama has a way of messing up everything, and that's why one time, let me just say it here, Kalonzo akamwambia nitakurudishia bibi yako akiwa senator. Karibu wapigane. So Ukambani wachana nazo kabisa. Wachana nao watu wapigane nao. Even ndo wanapiganaga nazo. That's how they do it.
Those are retrogressive whatever. Which for me, my concern is her coming to drag and try to bring nonsense into Azimio.
No, she's okay.
That,
She's in Azimio. She's with everything.
that's my concern. Yeah, she
She's
can
in
fight with
Azimio. Kwani kuna
Mudhama,
kitu
whichever.
kilinyimwi?
Anyway,
No, oh, okay. Actually,
I want to hand over to you.
I just wanted maybe you guys to tell me what you people were doing yesterday, these prayers. Kwani Wakenya hamjakuwa mukienda kuomba Sunday? Because I know Christians and Muslims and anybody, whenever they go pray, wanaombeanga shida zao ziondolewe nini nini. So does it mean you guys have not been praying for these problems each and every Sunday that you normally have the prayers, wale wa SDA wakiomba Saturday and these Jumas that you normally have on Friday? Does it mean Ruto ali realized lastly that Kenyans have not been praying for rain, Kenyans have not been praying, that he decided sasa muende muombe Tuesday and not kuomba? The guys who he decided to pay people wakuja waombe na kulipa wengine wahudhuria, alafu nyinyi wengine mufuatilie ni kama watu wanaomba. Or is it that Ruto is trying to tell Kenyans that you guys have not been praying? You people have been wasting this Sunday, sasa tufunge hii kanisa, so the government will now be deciding when, where, and at what time and what people are praying for. I think it is really shameful to any religious country unless this government want to make Kenya I don't know. They said initially alisema nakaribisha watu wote, watu wa dini zote, but I only saw dini moja. I didn't see the Indian whatever. Sisi kama ATR, African Traditional Religion, hatukuonekana huko. Wale wa Muslim religion hatukuwaona huko, na alisema amekaribisha dini zote waende waombe.
But Leo, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Kwani sisi tukiwa na serikali,
yeah,
unataka si serikali ni yetu, tunawaambia mpaka mali ya kuomba, tunawaambia mali ya kukula, na tunawaambia kila kitu. Sasa shida yenu ni nini? We are giving you, I mean, we are telling you everything to do. Serikali ni yetu.
And do you know where you are going to? I think people, you've been going to these countries that are these countries that you normally say they're not liberal. I don't know how I can describe them. There are some countries that are conservative when it comes to religion, that when you go there, don't care if you are a Muslim, or for example, if you are a Christian and you go to these countries that are Islamic by law, you have to practice their religion. So is Kenya going towards that direction? That's what I'm saying. We are going to a direction whereby they will be saying, Kenyan with love, we kwa sababu hauombangi on Sunday, you are no, you're not a Kenyan, something like that. And we are going to have a ministry, ministry of pastors and
Leo,
whatever. We are heading there.
I am the president. I am going to tell you where to pray, what to pray, how to pray, when to pay your taxes, how to pay your taxes, how to live with your kids, how to do everything, because you know what? I am the government. I will tell you everything to do and how you have to do. That is what Ruto's government is all about. Even the religion. There's a guy here that came here. I don't know, you were on the other show, but there's a guy that came here na Bernard akamsimamisha. Jamaa alikuwa anauliza, kwani sisi Waislamu ni kina nani? Bernard ndo alimsimamisha. Which is a question that needs to be asked. Kwani Waislamu wako wapi kwa hii Kenya yetu? Kienda maombi Nyayo Stadium, Waislamu wako wapi? Analisema 30%, which is very true, because I think it's 35. Last time I checked, it was about 36, 35 or 34, just around that number. So are you and remember, kuna watu wenye pia waamini chochote, atheists pia wako. So are they Kenyans? Are they not Kenyans? But according to Ruto, with him is that now that I'm the president, you have to do everything. Because what? This is what dictators are. And this is what it's going to be. So for him, we need to go to Nyayo Stadium. Come to Nyayo Stadium, or if you don't come to Nyayo Stadium, you don't belong in Kenya. Pay us, take Asla's fund. If you don't take it, you're not a Kenyan. You understand? I haven't gone to church for a whole year.
I think somebody needs to maybe correct me. I heard Ruto saying he's a scientist. He's having a PhD, he's a scientist. So is he trying to tell us that he wasted his time studying science? Because uh, even if you try to talk of religion, religion tells us that when God created man, he told them to go and subdue the world. And to subdue the world simply means there are specific knowledge that God is giving you that you are going to use. My grandfather lived a long time ago, but what he used to do, he had some small farm, yeah, sukuma wiki vegetables. So this grandfather of mine, whenever it was dry, he would sink some wells, so some small wells. After sinking these wells, he will be watering these vegetables in the evening and morning, then go pray that God gives him grace to wake up the next day so that he can be able to weed and work on his farm. He was never praying for rain. You know, we are living in the 21st century. Somebody calling himself president is telling Kenyans that we are hopeless. Eh? We've given up. I like what Gaucho said. Mtu akiwa mgonjwa Nairobi na uone watu wamechanga pesa na badala ya kumpeleka hospitali. Nairobi has got the best hospitals like Kenyatta Referral. So if people have contributed money and instead of kumpeleka pale Kenyatta ama wampeleke Aga Khan, they decided to hire a car or a van and take this person back to the rural Ushago. This one you don't need to be told anything. Nyinyi kama mumerudishiwa etimato alikuwa mgonjwa, marafiki wamechanga pesa, wamemrudisha Ushago, you know that huyu mtu amerudishwa akuje akufe. That it means they've lost hope. So the president is trying to tell us that, tumepoteza imani. So now I'm sending you back. It is between you and your God. My grandmother used to say, mtu akiwa mgonjwa mahututi walikuwa wanasema tumemwacha kwa mkono ya Mungu. Meaning they can no longer take you to the hospital. There's nothing they can do to save you, but it is between you and your God. So that is the situation Ruto is trying to tell Kenyans. Yeye akulijipatia kazi ya kuwa president, lakini hawezi fanya chochote. Sasa nyinyi endeni mulilie Mungu. The best thing maybe if you was sincere angetuambia sasa endeni muombee Mungu aniondoe hapa afisini, awapatie yule kiongozi ambaye anaweza ongoza Kenya vizuri. That is the only prayer that I can attend, because this is a man who cannot do anything. And Kenyans are seeing. And maybe to answer Stone PK, this thing, we should not be waiting for Raila. If we need revolution, the people who are feeling it, the people who are suffering, Misisi. So right now, what we should be asking Stone PK is how can we organize ourselves as youth and storm, number one, this Supreme Court. That is the first place where the people's will was also reversed. How can we go and ensure that right now wame advertise vacancy in the office ya au commissioners and the chairperson ya IBC? How can we stop idiots who are going to sit down eti wanataka kuvet or to do things in recruiting this IBC, whatever? We should do these things as youth. Mato, unafaa unajiuliza, how can I get 1,000 youths from Machakos and ensure we travel hata kama ni kutembea hadi Nairobi, so that we go and ensure that Nairobi is the capital. Tukiandamana pale Machakos ama tukiandamana Kisumu hata 1 year, nothing will change. But tukikuja Nairobi, it's for only 3 days. That is the capital of everything. Na hapo ndio saa zile walikuwa wanabadilisha the will of the people. It happened in Nairobi. This guy Chebukati alikuwa anatangaza hizo kuli zake Nairobi. Supreme Court was having the sittings in Nairobi. So if we decide to go and storm Nairobi, tujipatie tu, wacha Raila aonange tulishafika pale, ndio sasa akuja
at the end of the day, at the end of the day, my brother, and then I keep quiet because I can see Mr. G is still here, and Resist is still also here, and Stone Bado Yuko. So that way I don't take too much time. Nisianze kwa mzalendo. What I'm trying to say, at the end of the day, it doesn't mean Machakos, it doesn't mean Kerugoy, it doesn't mean where you come from, it doesn't mean anything. At the end of the day, this Kenya, I wish, and I cannot wait for that day that we all think about Kenya as a large, as a country. where this country does not matter. When I go to Kenya, and then maybe I live, and maybe Leo lives in the UK, and I go to Kenya, and I get to Eldoret, and maybe Leo lives in, the parents lives in the UK. I mean, lives in Eldoret, where I can actually go and stop and say, this is my friend's place, this is my family's friend's place, or a friend's place that we actually have a conversation with in a TV show, and that's the thing that in my life I want us to do. Is not about because when you look at even the show that we have here, there's the bigger person. Leo is on top of, Leo is my boss when we come here, When he talks, I have to keep quiet because he's the moderator. Stone PK is also on top of me. For me, I come chini yao. But then when naona nimeona hiyo mkono, nimeona Mr. G, Leo atakupatia. Just a minute.
He's just a friend ambaye amekuja na anasema pia alikuwa anataka kuchangia kitu kidogo alafu atoke. He's just a friend ambaye hapa atatoka sasa hivi, nilikuwa nataka ongea kidogo tu.
Okay, Mr. Leo,
Okay,
I think
okay.
Mr. Leo,
Okay, I think we can allow him to speak then, because this is Ruto.
Yes.
All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning to and welcome to
Yeah,
TV.
I think it's a journey whose time has come begins with the first step. And so I think this is just the time is ready, and this is the best time that we can take this kind of decision for this country and for the generations that are going to come. In fact, we are setting up a good precedence, because always people have been told, let's let's move on, let's agree, let's move on. But I think for the first time, if this is a stand that can be taken, there's no agreement, there's no nothing, then I think we'll have set a precedence for this country. And I'm very sure that the next generations and even the coming elections and so on and so forth, there'll be no there'll be no doubt. Things will be very clear from there. But if we lose this golden opportunity, I'm very sure. Some of us right now, we are 40 years. And, when I started knowing about around 2007, we were just finishing campus. So you can imagine if we've wanted that change from 2007 up to date, and we're already 40. What are we going to do in the next, let me say, 5 years? You are going to that age where now you, according to our standards, you want to retire. And, so what are you going back to? So for me, this is a golden opportunity, and I'm very grateful that these conversations are ongoing. I'm sure something good will come out of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's great. So Mato, maybe you continue with what you're telling us. Me, what I can tell people is this: we have the power. Raila has already shown us the sign. Like, unajua kuna ule mtu anakupatia pass na akwambie what to do. We have the power. I like right now, if you see somebody start responding to a sentiment from bunge la wananchi, it tells you kuna ka pressure, kuna kam relevancy there. So if all of us can even identify with this bunge la wananchi, like mimi niangalie pale kwetu Siaya, bunge la wananchi iko pale, okay? Let us see what we can do as these bunges. Then we bring these bunges together. Then we plan apart from Raila's meetings, we can plan our own meetings and plan sisi ni lini tunaenda pale Nairobi kufanya ABCD. There are people who are there, and reaching Nairobi also needs things like resources, whatever. That one we can do. There's somebody who is seated somewhere and is willing to participate in this movement or in this process, but you cannot be there physically. That is where now you can come in and say, mimi siwezi fika pale, lakini kuna watu wanne wanataka kufika pale, lakini hawana uwezo ya kufika pale. Let me pay for their fare na waende. Then we ensure that our plans succeed. I'm telling you, this thing, it is possible. This movement is possible. We can recruit. We can educate. Let us not wait for zile rallies za Raila ndio ziende educate. We can do it at our own level. Try calling people. How many people have you called, like in your village, na ujue uambie umejua ni hivi na ni hivi? And the people who don't, they have power, but they don't know they have that power. They just need somebody to remind them. That is the advantage Ruto anachukua kudanganya watu. He's organizing things, anajifanya ni church. So he is going to get people who are ignorant there, and he's going to use that Bible to tell them that no church will encourage you eti wewe uzidi kuumia tu kwa sababu they promise you kuna maisha mazuri pale mbinguni. So Ruto will tell them that umejua ni Mungu ndio baada anatutesa tu kidogo, Mungu anapima imani yetu, sasa tukai tu, in 6 months mvua itakuja, and all those nonsense. We need to tell these people, hii mambo ya mvua si eti ni Mungu. Hii mambo ya mvua ni huyu jamaa amekula pesa ya kuchimba damu. Hii pesa ya kuchimba damu, hii pesa wanabeba nayo watu wakileta Nyayo, they spent millions. This money is enough kuchimba damu moja na isaidie area. We should not allow that. We should declare these people public enemy and use whichever way we have to defeat them.
Leo.
Yes. Yeah.
I really admire. I admire. Pole kidogo tu nilikuwa nataka kusema kitu na nilikuwa nataka kuambia Mr. G, but I admire hiyo side yako. Unajua ukianza kwenda wewe nitakuacha tu chape yako, because you need to tell people what you're saying, because that's very encouraging what you tell people. I wanted to tell Mr. G, and I wanted people to understand, the people that are watching us, the people in the comment section, and the people even hata wenye uko hapa hivi. Mr. G's friend came and said something very peculiar. Sijui kama mmesikiza vizuri. Mwenye amesikiza vizuri aisikize, because I'm telling you the truth, Mr. Chair Leo, I am telling you the truth. This is the kind of comments I hear from people back from home. When I talk to people and they know that I'm in this channel, they tell me ambia watu hivi. What that guy just said, amekuja tu akatokea. And I can almost bet you amesumbua Mr. G. Mr. G, danganya kama unaweza danganya. Amekusumbua kabla umkubalishe. There he is. You see? Because people are following us. People are listening. These things that we're talking about, they go to the parliament. I heard Babu Owino the other day talking to me, talking about, because we were trying, you remember the thing that we were trying to push, saying that tunawasikiza. You're seeing these things in parliament being activated, what we are talking about. And these people are listening. I had my brother telling me, nyi mnaongeaje, sijui nini nini, okay, naanza kuwasikiza sasa. I had people talking and listening. So when you, if you can just allow me to ask Mr. G's friend why he had a need to say what he had to say, so that we can understand where we are with our influence. And I'm asking this out of your permission because you're the chair.
You're permitted, permission granted.
Okay. If you can at least introduce your name, introduce yourself and tell us why you felt the need to come into the show and say something. Mr. G's friend, you can tell us
thank you again
your name.
for the opportunity. My name is Aliki, and people from Western Kenya. Yeah. Is that clear?
No, can you maybe Mr. G, msaidie internet
So basically I was saying, like you were asking the reason as to why, what has motivated for me to request Mr. G, to give me the platform. And yeah, I hope now I'm a bit audible, yes?
Yes, you are now.
You're asking what is motivating. It's just, the need for that change, the need for that, for once, let me say, ethically doing things the right way. And doing things when you know that you are affecting generations, you're affecting a lot of people.
Ni mimi ndo nimempoteza peke yangu ama kila mtu amempoteza?
I think the internet on their side is not strong because they are reconnecting.
Okay. But
he's back. He's back. Okay. He's back. Okay. You can proceed, Mr. G.
Yes, so basically that is a motivation. The motivation is to see things done the right way, to see things done in a very ethical way, so that you are affecting generations here. It's not about you becoming the king and then you are taking care of your chosen few, and you are becoming the king again, not the right way. And why can't you open up some of these issues people are raising? For once, open up and say, fine, now you want us to open the servers. Here they are. We've opened them up so that we can confirm you are duly elected. But if you don't want to open up the servers and we are forced to do other things, then that means there's something wrong. So that is what is driving, I think. And now, apart from that, you also look at the lifestyle, what youths are subjected to. People are not where they ought to be. People do not achieve the objectives. Yeah, we are forced to go
Leo
to.
Sijui kama ni mimi ama sisikii chochote.
No, I'm getting him.
Yeah, okay. So I think it's mine. Let me get off and then come back.
Okay. Mr. G, you can proceed.
I think there's a problem with the network.
But you're now clear. You're now clear.
I'm clear. Okay. What he was trying to say, Nukua, is my friend who I just met right now. Na amesikia, in fact amesikia wewe leo ukiwa unaongea hiyo issue ya watu kuja Nairobi na akasema hiyo ndio kitu ambacho nafaa. We have not discussed anything with him. But angalia kitu ambacho ameongea. The need ya watu kujua ukweli what happened ndinampush mpaka aongee pia hivi. Na what happened ni kuwa sisi tuliibiwa kura yetu. Na tushajua ukweli kuwa kura ni kuwa tulipata 8 million, the other guy alipata 5 million. We need our rightful share. Na rightful share ni lazima tutoe huyu mtu. You see, so our course ni kuwa lazima Ruto atoke, tuchukue our state house. Na kila mtu hapa chini, kila mtu, that is the feeling ambayo anapitia sasa. The guy alitudanganya. Na huyu mtu ni mtu ambaye amekuwa akipinga everything ambayo ni right kusaidia wananchi wa chini. Something like the devolution alipinga. Na hajive na devolution na work. Sasa hakuna venye ataweza saidia devolution sahi akiwa amekalia kwa kiti. Because hana idea how that thing operates, you see? Ni mtu ambaye alipinga BBI. Ni mtu ambaye amepinga vitu vingi ambayo ilikuwa inakuja kusaidia wananchi wa Kenya. So what we are trying to say ni kuwa huyu mtu atuachie tu kiti yetu polepole aende kivyake. Hatuwezi endamana na yeye. Angalia those MPs ambao sasa wanasema kuwa yeye ameshinda ukweli. Our own MPs and our own governors. Ndio nilikuwa nakwambia Kenya with love. These governors ambao wanaendelea kusema kuwa yeye ndio wanamrecognize kama president, waende na yeye. We don't need them because there's no way a double-minded person succeed in anything that he's pushing. Hatuwezi kuwa sisi tunasema we don't recognize this person, alafu our own people ambao wanafaa tusaidie kupush the cause ndio wanasema kuwa na recognize this guy. Hao watu hatuwahitaji sasa. Hata hiyo issue ya kina Wavina Ndeti, hao watu hata hatufai kuwasikia sasa. Wacha wapambane kule kivyao. Sisi our cause ibaki kuwa hatutaki Ruto. Ruto hakuchaguliwa, mwana alichaguliwa apewe kiti chake. That is our push, ambao tunapush huku chini.
No,
Oh, okay.
ni kweli Mr. G, hata ikifika mbali nitaambia. Hata tulikuwa tumekosana na Wavinyandeti the other day, because don't ask me how tumekosana, but I know the problem is Mudhama, but even me, I was telling her, okay, you're pushing it too much now. Either just choose, tuachane na hii kitu, Mudhama aende kivyake na tuache kupigana nao na tuache story ya Ukambani, cause kina Ngilu washaachana na hiyo kitu, hiyo vita. Nani anaitwaje, Kivudha ashaachana nayo, Mutua bado anapigana nayo, na we cannot put Ukambani ikue problem ya Kenya, you see, so we cannot put that. So tulikuwa tu tukiongea tu story tu, not that I have any powers on it. It's just someone that I know, ni kama auntie yangu or whatever. Talking. We were talking as a family. And yes, there's the Mudhama factor. But what I can tell you is that Ukambani, you should not worry about Ukambani when it comes to hizi vitu zinafanyika. So, having left Ukambani, tuachane na hiyo kabisa. Wachane na Ukambani kabisa. Now, moving on. I agree with you. I agree with Stone PK. And I am glad that hata umeleta mtu hapo, mtu akasema ile kitu anaona, ndio watu waelewe. Because hata mimi when I talk to people, wanatuambia ni nini mnafanya. We need to move on. We need our country to move on. At the end of the day, we need our country to move on. Niyo ndio kitu nitasema. And I'm so glad so that we can make people understand what people are feeling pale chini. It's not about Wavinyandeti, it's not about, James Orengo, it's about the common mwananchi. Mali tuko, we're done. Hatuwezi biwagwa kura 24/7, and then the problem ni hata uibiwe kura na mtu mwenye anakusaidia kwa maisha yako. Kuna mtu alikuja hapa hivi akasema, sitaki kumtaja jina cause nitaleta issues. You know who I'm talking about. Akaanza kusema policies za Uhuru Kenyatta, na akaulizwa na Bernard vizuri, nipatie policy moja. And they couldn't give even one single policy. One. Seriously, 6 months after. 6 months after. Not even one single policy that you can give. Na kama kuna mtu akona hata kwa comment section, I'm watching the comment section. Today I'm going to question the comment section people because mnadhaningia mko kwa show. I want you to give me one policy that Ruto has brought into this place or this country. One policy. If you give me one policy, nitanyamaza. Mr. Leo, Mr. Chair, I'll be gone for another 1, 2, 3 weeks. Nitapotea kwanza. Kama kuna mtu anaweza nipatia policy moja isipokuwa ya kuomba, mimi mtu anipatie policy moja. Kama kuna mtu kwa panel saizi tuko 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, mtu anipatie policy moja tu. Na Bernard aliulizia kitu, policy moja, na msinipatie za mapasta kuanguka kwa pulpit. Munipatie policy moja tu yenye Ruto ameleta in the last 6 months. If there is that, I will walk out of this show for the next 3 months. Niende kwanza nikajifikirie, because I have not seen any policy. The thing is that our country is falling in front of our eyes. But the UDA guys are playing games with us and they know they're thieves. They know they never won. That's why they're messing with our parliamentarians. They're messing with our senators. They are trying to mess with our MCAs. They're trying to do anything to infiltrate. We've no hatujawaendea wanatusumbulia nini. But then we also have very money-minded tumbocrats, people that we call in our side. And I like what Baba said, that we'd rather have 30 people than have 60, but have 30 people who are strong. Wacha ninyamazi hapo hivyo kidogo, Mr. Leo, I'll be very quiet for now.
Okay.
Lakini nataka mtu anipatie policy. I want one policy ya Ruto.
As they're getting you the policy, ngoja tuone watatype the policy or they'll join the studio and give us the policy. Let us hear from Resist. Umejua Resist sijaona akiongea, pengine ana mipango jinsi tunaweza resist. Resist, karibu.
Asanteni sana. Assalamu alaikum. Bwana asifiwe. Now, I've been listening to the better part of the hour, and thanks for letting me have to say a word or two. Now, Kenyan with love. I'm just about to send you 3 months. You mesema 3 months away. When you talked about the policy, so umesema utapumzika miezi mitatu, and I'm just about to give it to you. Ile policy Ruto has done is a very good one. I'll give you 2. I'll give you a bonus. 1, Ruto amefanya kazi mzuri sana. He has been able to give something that he promised he would do, which is Hasura Fund, my friend. Can you do Hasura Fund?
Mr. Resist, you can't be serious.
I'm serious.
Maybe that one should be your last point. You are starting with the Hasra Fund.
He promised, it's my chance. He promised.
If you promise your son kumununulia sumu na ununue sumu, is that an achievement that you need to keep telling people?
Unazingiza kwa simu hata sungiaza na kitu ingine.
Mimi umeniuliza zile amlisema, promises that he did, and the policy.
Hasla Fund is not any economical policy. So he promised Hasla Fund. He promised air and gave out air.
It's a
okay. Give us the success story. Those people who've been empowered. Give us success stories. I know Ruto very well. If Hasla Fund was empowering and changing people's lives with the several bloggers and propagandists around him, right now TV zetu hazingekuwa zinapumua, ingekuwa from morning to evening, after every 30 seconds mnaonyeshwa success story ya Hustler Fund. And because they cannot even propagate it, it tells you there is nothing. Hustler Fund, nobody should talk of it. Usitukumbushe how that thing has lost Kenyan money. Achana Hustler Fund, you better talk of something else. Hustler Fund was delivered.
And Mr. Chair,
somebody talking about affordable housing. Okay, order, just a minute. Order.
Ndio tuweze kuongea vizuri.
Order, just a minute. Okay, I'll give you your time and we'll hear you in silence, kindly. And maybe to correct somebody, affordable housing was there. And Ruto is simply continuing those things that you see as affordable housing had already been planned and budgeted na pesa imewekwa. So hiyo tunaitanga ile continuation, of which it is good, hajazisimamisha venye amesimamisha barabara zinaendelea. So let nobody fool you eti Ruto ameanza affordable housing. Kwani umezaliwa leo? Can you revisit the agenda for affordable housing? In fact, ilianza na the
I think
so that we have this is the evening channel, so that we have a very candid, and I like to have a candid show.
Okay, let us give him
Can
time
you
to explain
define? Can
himself.
you define a policy? Can you go into your internet and define a policy,
Don't
please?
PK, weka hiyo mtu niko
Okay.
na swali hapa kwake. Ngoja kidogo. Mato and
It's my
resist. Just
turn.
okay, it's
It's
your
my
time.
turn.
Let me give you time to be heard in
policy.
silence.
Define policy.
Mato, just give him time.
Stone PK, can you please protect me?
You are
From
protected, sir. You are protected. Proceed.
You know, you guys have jumped the guns. Mungesikiza resist anasema nini. You know, I saw where he was coming. Go ahead.
All right, let him proceed. I protect you. We listen you in silence. Proceed.
Policy ya pili, Ruto said wakati atakapoingia mamlakani, in quote, juu yeye alikuwa amesema yeye hatafuti mamlaka, he's gonna give some watu wa Western Kenya, I think it was 30%. Na amewapea something close maybe to 15-20%. So hiyo ni policy ya pili. Wewe leo hunielewi. I can tell you hunielewi. Those are the two policies that Ruto has done. You don't understand what the policy according to me means. According to Ruto. Those are the policies. Ukitafuta zingine utapata.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Resist.
Okay.
I've heard you. I've heard you.
Okay, so I'm going to hiyo ilikuwa in response to Kenyan with love, but that is a side. Mimi nimemwanza, mimi sijui policies zingine. I know only those two.
Okay, lakini can we define policy?
Mato, nishamuelewa. Just relax. Let him finish. Nishamuelewa.
Kenya with love. According to you, is hustle about a policy. What do you want me to do? You can't understand my language? Which language do you want me to speak in? All right, let me go to my original point before we leave Nisumbua. I want to say something that
Resist. Asla Fund is not a policy. That is not even in the law. Can we have someone read for us what a policy is, so that
Mato, did you do literature? Are you a student of literature? Maybe you are an engineer. You're not. He's not.
Okay, so why is he arguing? Nimempatia policy mbili, so he should not be here in 3 months. Aende akapumzike. Policy tumempatia mbili. Nimempatia alikuwa anataka moja. Nimempatia mbili. So I want to discuss about something else that I want to I thought we should talk about here. Ile kitu nilikuwa nataka kuongea na wao. Tumekuwa sana tukiongea maneno ya the elite, the top tier, the high income earners, the rich, versus the Wajiko. We have talked about that. But there's something that I wanted to talk more towards the rich people who may be in this forum or may be listening. Hiyo gari ambayo unaendesha, which is a V8, hiyo nyumba umejenga ya 50 million, 100 million, hiyo barabara unatumia iko na street lights mzuri, hiyo chakula unakulaga pale chini, the Stanley yenye ilikuwa New Stanley zamani, unakulaga hapo chini, and the nice other hotels in the city, hiyo security that you enjoy in the country, hiyo internet you are enjoying, it's only because there is the rule of law that is still operational in Kenya, in quotes, because it is getting somewhere, the insecurity is starting to creep in. If you have been in Kenya recently, or you're in Kenya, you know what I'm talking about. The security is going down. This forum and other forums that are speaking against the ills of the current illegitimate government, they should know, once the masses, once the Wajikus, once the Akinyis, once the Mwenis of this beautiful country cannot take it anymore. There is going to be something that I will call anarchy. This is not going to be read by the politicians. It's not going to be read by the Rairas of today, the Madakaruas of today, the Babuawinos of today, the Amaros of today. They are not going to read this. Them, they are in the upper class. And when a country reaches to a point that they cannot, watu wakifika mahali, they can't feed themselves, you cannot. Unaishi Lavington, and the next, your border, your boundary, ile umegawanywa na Kawangware, is a fence. Do you know how long it will take to demolish that fence when people are mad? It will take a very short amount of time. And I want to say this without any fear of doubt or contradiction. That is where we are headed. That is where we are headed. Hii country yetu yenye tunaipenda, which is respected world over, we are just about to lose it. Wakati unasikia vijana wakienda kwa barazas to the wanasema we are ready to die. Wanasema nikifa nikienda kuchukua haki yangu, uambie bibi yangu nilikuwa napigania haki, uambie mama yangu nilikuwa napigania haki yetu, uambie watoto wetu nilikuwa napigania haki yetu. This is the point that you have pushed us to go. Hapa ndio mnasukuma nchi yetu iende. And for those who have never slept hungry, I have slept hungry multiple times. A hungry man is an angry man. Watu wakiwa na njaa, hawana chakula, hawana mahali pa kulala, wanarara almost somewhere outside. They don't, their schools, their kids are at home. I have just seen somebody posted here that his nephew ako supposed kwenda shule, which they walikuwa wamezoea kulipa 17,000. Now it's 33,600. And that story, you're going to hear it all across the board. Hiyo pesa, it was available 6 months ago. After we got the new legitimate government, all that money has evaporated. You tell me what this person that is hungry, this person watoto wako nyumbani, umwambie tuende tutoe hii government, what does they have to lose? People are dying every day. So if you tell me tuende tuondoe hii government, our lives will be better, I don't have anything to lose. I'll go. And that is the masses. That is the thousands, hundreds of millions of people. That's what they are going today. Angalia what is happening in the war-torn regions of the Kerio Valley and the left, where the purported government leader come from. Watu wanawawa, nyama zinauzwa Nairobi. All those butcheries that you see there, they belong to the elite, to members of parliament, to cabinet secretaries, to Zakayo's friends, and maybe zingine ziko zake, because I understand the last time alikuwa amehijack Kenya Meat Commission using his son. We know all this stuff. So what we are saying is that munaenda munaua watu wenu. Do you see how heartless these people are? Munaenda munaua watu wenu kule, wafugaji wa ng'ombe. Ng'ombe zikuje ziuzwe kwa mabuchari in towns, then you benefit. That's how selfish we have become. That's whatever you call leaders have become. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They only care about their little stomachs. They care how much, what big vehicle am I going to drive next? Niko na magari gapi kwa garage? How many sports cars do I have? Which sasa nitanunua helicopter gani? Sasa niko na frats ngapi? That's what they care about now. They don't care about you who do not know the next meal itatoka wapi. So when we talk in this forum, we see people like Kina Muzaredos coming here to play. We are angry. And the Kenyan population are angry. Hata mimi kama siko nyumbani kwa saa hii, nimekuwa hapo. Nimerara njaa siku mingi. Nimeishi kwa slum. Mungu amenibariki. Saa hii siko na njaa. But I know my brothers are in hunger. I know my sisters are in hunger. Najua watoto wao wako kwa njaa. Why should I not be mad? The country has ample. Within the borders of Kenya, there's enough for everybody. But that enough is taken just by a few. How can you say that these are human beings? These are not human beings. These are animals that we have sent to parliament, to positions of power, and they are masquerading to be ready. And you can tell, Leo, now you're probably getting me. There's no policy that they have. They have no agenda. They are clueless. They have no head. They have no tail. They have no body. They have nothing. Na mimi nakwambia, nawaambia, na ninajiambia pia, when we get to that point, we are not gonna wait. We are not gonna wait for anybody. Wakenya hata ngojea mtu yoyote. The power belongs to them. The word that should be spreading now, which we are trying also to do here, is a word belongs to us. Tukijaribu kuleta viongozi, remember the other time when the other parliament, when the people like Boniface Mwangi were trying to paint pigs, wanazimwagilia damu, wanazileta kwa parliament. There was the same anger. This anger has been building. Na wakati huo haikuwa mbaya kama wakati huu. That time, the parliament, I remember listening to the parliament, ikiongea vile wanataka kuongezwa mshahara. And the guys were earning, I don't know, I think 850,000. Ili hali, wale Wakenya wengi, Mukuru kwa Njenga, Mukuru kwa Ruben, Korogocho, anywhere, they are living in under $1 a day. Wale hamjaifika industrial area, wale hamjafika Mombasa Road, enda kule kwa kampuni zile zina manufacture kitu, uone vile line ziko kubwa. And sometimes you see 1,000 people wamekuja kwa kampuni and they only need 15 people. All the others, wewe fikiria tu, hao wengine wataenda kukula nini? They have come there for a week. They have come there for 2 weeks. Hakuna kitu kwa nyumba. Ameenda pale hakuna kazi. Anaenda with only hope that he can get a job. And I know the people who like to rubbish the revolution that is about to happen ni watu wenye wametoka food baskets za Kenya. Wale hawajai kuona njaa. People from Rift Valley and people from Central. And those are the same people who are talking about the country should remain in the heart of 2 tribes forever. They are the same people who are talking about that. Wale watu wanajaribu kusaidia watu ni watu wadogo sana. If you look at the clergy that we have, except ukisikia kama vile Father Muheri aliongea, he has been able to raise 45 million peke yake, and he has been raising these since November last year mpaka saa hii akona 45 million. He has been feeding people all over mpaka Kukambani, Kitui, wapi. He has been feeding people. These are the people that we need in the country. Au wengine ma priest na ma clergy, au wengine all are tubocrats. And those are the people that I was talking about here earlier. Nikasema those are some of the 850 prophets wenye walimalizwa wakati wa Elijah. So this nation of Kenya, hata kama tunaomba, as we play, wakati unaomba, it have to be accompanied by action. Na huwezi kusema watu tunaongea wakati. We cannot live on talking all the time. It reaches a time that inatakana watu wafanye kitu. Na ile kitu tunasema, if you look, kuna mzee mmoja ameongea hapa maneno ya servers. Servers za Kenya, ile siku zote watu wameongea, see even the high court, iliongea ikasema servers zifunguliwe, zilifunguliwa. So if the High Court can say, the Supreme Court can say servers zifunguliwa na hazikufunguliwa, what makes you think zitafunguliwa saa hii? This is a country that is full of uongo, full of deceit, full of ukora wa aina yote, wizi. This is the time that we should clear the swamp. Angalia kama Marekani, what they did when they had issues, even the last election. They had to make sure that votes were counted because they're going to be counted legally. We had places like Georgia, which had to wait for nearly 3 weeks ndio zifanywe vizuri, zirudiwe kulingana na vile wanatakana, zihesabiwe kila mtu kama ako hapo. Arizona, PA, Pennsylvania, it was there. The elections were counted na kila mtu akawa convinced. So the moment they didn't know, after even forget about anything else, the moment that they refused to open the servers, even the other time, 2013, when they didn't open the servers, that is when we knew the elections were stolen. And what makes Kenyans think 2027 is not going to be stolen? Under what circumstances? The same, kwanza, this is going to even be worse. The electoral commission that is being formed right now is Ruto's electoral commission. What do you expect? Now you are telling the Kenyans, mnatuambia wale watu mmekuja hapa kina Biwot na the rest, I have seen you all here quoting a lot of rubbish. Mnatuambia tungoje hii imeenda na ya 2027 imeenda. That's what they are saying, mocking people, playing with people's emotions. Na wanauliza mtadu, ati mtadu. Guess what? You are playing with fire. When people turn violent, you are not going to be able to stop it. Not Ruto, not Raila, not any of the leaders, not the military. Nobody is going to be able to stop it. And guess what will happen? The country as we know it is going to be destroyed. But me, I'm of the opinion, afadhali kama nyumba imejaa kunguni, kama nyumba imejaa paka, kama nyumba imejaa uchafu, kama nyumba imejaa mold, the best thing I think is to burn the house. Burn the house, anzia from the foundation, rebuild it again. And I think that's what Rwanda did. They burned the house, wakauana wale wamebaki watabaki, and then we have seen the position mahali sasa Rwanda iko. So for me, Leo, Kenya with Love, Stone PK, and all my comrades, join us, let's burn this house. If we burn on it, let's burn together. Lakini we cannot leave, we cannot allow the country to go to the dogs in front of our eyes. Hii maneno ya mimi namekwambia ni mtu mmeokoka. Hii ni upuzi wanaleta hapa. It's nonsense. It's sheer nonsense. Ni wapi ulisikia Mungu akisema endeni muombe maneno ishi hapo? Kitabu cha Mungu kinasema, Biblia inasema kwa vizuri, in a loud voice, inasema wacha ambao ni wazembe, let the lost people who don't work, the lazy ones, waachwe wakufe, let them die. So what I'm saying is very simple. Hii inchi, it needs to be overhauled. Mtu mmoja alisema hivyo, iwe completely overhauled, tuichome, wale watabaki wabaki. Saa hii ni watu wangapi wamekufa huko maaskari huko Kerio Valley? Ni watu wangapi wanakufa Northeastern? Kuna chakula. How many people are dying every day? Juxtaposition that with a position whereby the people wakubali, walivote, tuende tuchukue serikali. I don't believe anybody is going to die. But if somebody died, fine. In the process, tuchukue nchi yetu and then rebuild it fresh. I remember one thing that I have witnessed myself. There's some people who came to the country that I'm living in, wakiuza mashamba, wanaziita very lucrative, very ideal, mashaba maguta and all that. These people, they made me sell land. They made me their agent. Nikawauliza, hizi mashamba mnajua ni mzuri kabisa? Wakaniambia ndio. Ni wa Kenya? Wakaniambia ndio. I talked with a few people and they came and they bought the land. The time that I went where tulikuwa tunauzua rad 4 million Kenya shillings, when you go and see ni wapi, nikifika huko from the main road, from the tarmac road kwenda huko, I was already sick because of the vile barabara inakaa, mitaro, mawe, nini. My car was almost completely destroyed. Ni kichakani. Our people have become wakora. Our brothers and sisters wamekuwa wakora. And that's the only way. If you ask them, ukimwauliza, kwa nini mnachagua mkora? Wanasemaga kitu moja. Kwa nini wewe ni nani ambaye si mwizi Kenya? Who is not a thief in Kenya? Wanakuuliza hivyo. Ni nani si mwizi Kenya? So it needs a lot of effort kubadilisha watu wetu wafikirie. You don't have to be a thief to prosper. You don't have to be a thief to be a leader. Sasa kama hawa wote wamepewa 50 million or whatever the amount they have been given. Sasa hao ni watu, they will never say anything ever. Milele irudi mpaka Jesus arudi, hayatai kusema ile. Nyinyi watu maskini mulie, mkitaka kukufa mkufe. That's none of their business. And guess what? Hiyo pesa wamepewa ni pesa imelaaniwa. Hiyo pesa itamaliza nyote. Who you are taking. I understand there's some ODMs wameenda kuona rais leo tena. You tell me, what are they doing? What development? The last I checked, 2010, the government I thought was devolved. The development gani unaenda kuchukua kule kwa State House? The last I checked, people walikuwa wanaenda State House ni kukula ugali kwa President Moi back in 90s. Na kukula ugali ilikuwa kwenda kuchukua pesa, and that's where we are back. Hapo ndio tumerudi. So me, I'm very angry. Nimeona vile watu wamedanganywa. I'm very upset with people like Mutembei who have been with us and they have been elected na kwa upande wa Azimio, where they showed like they might be able to produce some results. People like Simba Arati, I can't believe it. Simba Arati, of all the other people, mtu amefunzwa na baba wa siasa, mtu amelewa na baba. I can't believe it. Tom Ojieda, Sabina Nyege, man, paka Sabina Nyege. And I'm so disappointed. This country should be, inatakana ichomwe, ikatakatwe, ianzwe tena upya. Tuchimbe foundation ingine mpya. We start a new nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Bwana Rashid. That is the truth. You know, we cannot be doing the same thing each and every time to Namdwanga to accept and move on. And if you take the case study of Rwanda, you know, these guys decided to clean once and for all. And the country is peaceful, economically doing well. So they did things the right way. It is high time. Hii mambo unadanganya wangu eti nini imeisha bwana, umejua Mr. Jini ndugu yangu, tuendelee. Then anakuwa ndugu yako tena, ikifika another election hiyo mambo ya ndugu tena inaisha, tena anafanya vile alifanya. Tena unaambiwa umejua huyu ni ndugu yako, tuendelee mpaka lini? Umejua we are setting a trend and a culture. And this thing, it's becoming a culture of which wale the next generation, watoto wetu watakuwa wamejua hii ni culture ya Kenya. Kenya elections inakuanga na mtu anabadilishwa, alafu baadaye wa Kenya wana move on. So it will be a culture, or like, you know, each country normally have their heritage, which kuitoa itakuwa ngumu. Watakwambia It has always been happening like that. It is normal. No, there are some things that in Kenya to normalize, whereby if you now speak of them, then people look at you strangely. Mtu anakuambia sani, kwani wewe hujui sahihi wakati wa siasa inaisha ni wakati wa kazi? It's becoming normal. So we need to stop this culture before it sinks in people's head. Watu wanajua inakuanga, alafu baadaye mnaambiwa umejua ni wakati wa kazi. Sasa wakati wa siasa imeisha. Alafu muendelee tena wakati wa siasa itafika. No, we cannot live in a country like that. We are setting a wrong precedent. We are creating a wrong culture that will come to haunt the next generation. So we have to stop it so that the next generation will say that something bad was happening, but these people who stood and said, let us stop it. Just like a single party system became a part of Kenya until few people decided to step ahead, take the risk, and ensure it was done away with. Walikubali kulipa gharama, na sasa ndio wakati unasikia Wakenya wanasema wacha tukubali kulipa gharama. If I die, tell my family that I tried my best. If you die in the battlefield, it is okay. And if you die in the battlefield, it will only be okay if you, the people you left behind, wins that battle. So this is a battle that is worth taking part in. Even if you will not make it, but the generations you're leaving behind will live to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It is not in vain. We better stop things once than get it done right, than continue doing wrong things. Mr. G.
Thank you, Leo. I just had a question. Huyu Ojenda, is he the same guy that we were with him in Supreme Court?
Okay, just to bring you back, Ojenda is and was Kidero's lawyer by the time Kidero was CEO of Mumias. By the time Kidero was governor, Nairobi was still his lawyer. And if you follow Kenyan politics, there is a case that he had and some about Mumias. He is among the people who conspired with Kidero to loot money from Mumias. He hiked the legal fee by that time and was paid millions, if not billions. And if you remember during that special sitting whereby they were looking at the issue of this lady called Mwangaza, Boni Halwale brought the issue, and it was bitterly fought on the floor. Yeah? The issue of Ojenda and his involvement in corruption in Mumias and corruption stories in Nairobi. So me, I'm not surprised if Ojenda maybe joins Ruto. Ojenda knows that he's having some dark and tainted history, and the only person, the only safe place where he can comfortably enjoy the past loot is when he joins the fellow looter. So he's the controversial lawyer behind the looting of Mumias and the looting of Nairobi. So it is the same group. Look at Elisha Odhiambo, the MP of Game. That has been a PA of Kidero. He worked with Kidero in Mumias, followed Kidero in Nairobi before going to buy in Game. So these are people who knows very well they are having some corruption cases behind them. And they've seen corruption cases being dropped in Ruto's government. So they've gone there. They are not loyal to Ruto, but they are practicing what is called loyalty of convenience. So following Ruto right now conveniences them in that they can negotiate for their cases to be dropped. So it is their own interest. It is not the interest of wananchi as they're telling you their development. They've gone there to develop themselves and develop their interests. And maybe good news, those people who are telling Ruto that Ruto employed Uhuru to fire Uhuru, now the AU have appointed Uhuru to lead the observation team, the team that is going to observe elections in Nigeria. So I don't know what Kimani Chungo is going to tell Ruto to do today. You can proceed, Mr. J.
Yeah, ni kwenda to confirm because the guy is just a comedian. Tumekuwa tunasema kila siku, there's no way a comedian will give us a solution. For always what they know ni kujoke peke yake. That's why hata wamefuata hizo pesa. Kwa sababu hakuna kitu kingine ambacho amefuata. There's something racist umesema on the issue of religion. You know, tukipinga hao watu, it's not that we are against Christianity. We are not against Christianity. Tunapinga hao watu ambao wameleta comedy in Christianity. Unapata pasa anasimama sahi, anakuzia ufagio, anakuambia ufagio inatoa mashetani. mtu anakuuzia maji, mtu anakuuzia nguo, anakuambia kitu amesha. These are things that tuko against. Si tuko against Christianity, but sasa hawa watu ndio wale ambao wameletwa kwa altar, ambao wanachangia sawa, ndio wanasema wana direct pia our politics. Jana Ruto amesema kuwa ako glad Christians wameshaingia, yani pastors na religion wameingia kwa siasa katikati, au ndio wana direct our siasa. Sasa how shall we agree with somebody ambaye anajua kabisa hii kitu ni kitu ambayo iliibiwa, election haikuwa free and fair, halafu anakuja anatuambia ni Mungu? Tutagree aje na watu kama hawa? Watu ambao wanajua kabisa our nation imeingia kwa shimo, but they cannot see it. Wanatuambia kwa we are on the right track. How? Tutafanya vipi kazi na watu kama hawa? Mimi nilikuwa tunasema the guys ambao wameamua kutoka watoke na waende. We have no time to waste now tena. Wale ambao wamesema wana support this government, they should go. Watu wake, this is the time to set things straight. Na to set things straight, Raila akalie kiti yake ambayo alishinda. Hakuna kitu kingine ya kubembelezana hapa. There's a time I saw, I think he was Mutembei, I think, yeah, the same Mutembei. Alikuwa anasema atasimama na Uhuru Kenyatta mahali popote ambao ataenda. Anything ambayo ataambiwa kufanya atafuata. Sasa nashangaa nini imehappen mpaka mama hata hataki kumsikia. Anasema sasa anafuata ile government ambayo iko kwa kiti. And those are the people ambao wanatuambia kwa hao ndio watu wako na president Uhuru Kenyatta. These are the guys ambao wanatuambia kwa hawawezi fuata story ambao Ruto anawaambia kwa sababu wanajua Ruto ni muongo. How comes nini imehappen sasa mpaka wanaona kwa Ruto hako na ukweli ambao atasaidia? And we know ourselves, tunajua vizuri kabisa this is the guy ambaye amekuwa a liar all along kwanza kitambo. Everything ambayo amesimama ilikuwa ni uongo. Anything ambayo anasema ni uongo. Amejaa na propaganda kuanzia mwanzo mpaka mwisho. Hata kampeni zake zote zimekuwa ni za propaganda. Nini imehappen sasa mpaka watu wanaona wanasema kwa huyu ndio mtu ambaye tunafaa tumfuate? We cannot. Sasa tu resist vile umesema, sasa ni wakati wa kutoka. We are not advocating for people to die. No. We are not advocating for that, but we are telling people wasimame kwa ukweli. Wacha our votes they speak. Tukienda kuvote, at least our vote must count. Isiwe tunaenda kuvote waste time, mtu anaamka saa 12 asubuhi, saa 11 asubuhi. Alafu ile kitu ambacho ameenda kufanya haimsaidii tena. You are wasting our time. Let this time be the last time hiki kitu happen tena Kenya. Na to be the last time ni watu waende. I'm pushing for watu waende State House. Wacha sasa iwe maandamano, bado tujaza maandamano. We are still on a forum, we are still on a rallies, but imefika time we need people to go for maandamano sasa. Maandamano. There's no peace without justice. Lazima tupate justice yetu. We have been gentlemen for a very long time. Watu hawajatusikia. Tumejaribu kwenda polepole, no one ametupatia masio kutusikia. Sasa ni wakati wache ieleweke sahihi. Leo people should go. Waende State House, watoe mjambazi atoke pale.
That is where we are leading, and everyone, that is where we are leading. We are the ones who are going to do this. We are the ones who are going to do this. And I like the initiative that even our bunges are doing. And maybe what I can tell people is that we can identify this bunge. No, everyone is a bunge. Like when you're seated here, this is our own bunge now. You know, bunge means a convergence of people who are speaking and having similar ideas. So right now we don't need the negative energy, and I like it when you people have unanimously rejected people like Mzalendo. We don't need negative energy. We need positive energy. We need now to discuss how are we going to do it. I know if we plan well, we are going to do it. And we are coming up with ways in which we are going to do it. We'll also ensure that those people who are maybe not able to travel and do what we get them something, even Maji, Kukunyo, and so on and so forth. We can work on it. We can work on it and share the plans and the programs. Those people who are interested in this course will reach you. You know, like here we know we have people like how do you call them, the Rutos who are here and who are really feeling that this government is doing good by humiliating Kenyans. So there are some things we can't share with them. So we'll reach those people who have the same mind and the same belief, na tuhakikishe hawa watu wametoka na hii story imeisha na Kenya imeanza upya, na tukue na ile nchi yenye kila mtu anajivunia kuwa yeye ni Mkenya. And I'm told there's somebody ule namwitanga David D was in Citizen TV yesterday teaching some Kenyans and telling people how hustler fund is really important. What people are forgetting, David D is good in speaking, but when it comes to action, that guy, I don't think he's ever worked anywhere. There's a time he's among the people who are contracted to help Rwanda recover their economy. That is after the Rwandan genocide. Kagame fired that man after the historical 6 months. After 6 months, Kagame fired that man. He's a man full of himself, cannot work with the team. His ideas are not working. So Kagame fired David D after 6 months and replaced him with some competent Kenyans. Actually, Kenyans were there who recovered that economy of Rwanda. And Rwanda is currently doing well. Rwanda is currently doing well. Our own Magoha went and did a curriculum. I don't know, is it Zambia or which country? And now Kenyans will be going there for studies when our own education system is being put in the hands of the Machogus. And guys, we are not serious. We are not serious. Then you want to tell us sisi tuende tu maombi, tuende tuombe mvua. Then why can't we pray for the cost of? Why can't we go tuende tuombe ushuru ishuke? We are not going to allow that. Bato.
Yes, sir.
There's a guy who joined. Sijui kwa nini amedrop. This guy called Onyi. He joined and I think hata network hana, hii maneno yote hajapewa pesa ya network. This guy sang a song ile ilikuwa inaitwaje hiyo ya TB man. That song is the one that it did not that it hit. Anything that is used by Raila as political whatever do hit. Go and check out hiyo lero ni lero uone YouTube iko na views ngapi. So the guy came again to sing a song kuambia maisha sio TB and whatever, and I think it is months now na hata watu 10,000 hawaja watch. So he's the one who is telling people to move on. I saw him joining here, and after joining here sijui nini may happen, nimeona amedrop tena. I wanted to ask him some questions. Aache hizo upuzi zake na aende atafute mahali achezee. Kenya ni blab.
Ni wale tu comedians ambao wanakuja kusumbua watu akili hapa.
Is it my time? Is it my time?
It's your time. It's your time to proceed.
Yeah. Leo. Let me just atuko watu wengi. Let me give a history of how I came into this channel. I came into this channel na sitaki kwa watu wengine wanakujanga na story mingi, but I was one day driving and all of a sudden I got into this channel. Is this thing live? And I'm like, yeah, it's talking politics. And I I'm a politician. I love talking politics. I know people back at home and politics back at home, including where I live. But at the time I was looking at this channel and I really got in hard. One thing I've come to realize about being in this politics is that, and things that I've known in my life is that you have to be realistic with yourself. Being realistic with yourself is because you're not going to agree with everybody. There's some things that are happening today in our country that sometimes you have to balance politics and your own family and the things that you treasure in your life. What is happening with politics and what I hate so much, and sometimes makes me want to walk away from the politics, is that you find a humanity that does not understand politics, does not agree with what politics. They think politics is disagreeing. Politics is not about disagreeing. Politics is about the social fabric of life, of what you do. It is in your family. It is in your wife, yourself, your kids, and everything. That's how your kids and everybody knows how to get something of, if I want a car, I'm going to go, even a toy car. I'm going to go to daddy because daddy is going to give me better car. It's going to give me the car easier than mommy is going to do, because mommy is just going to walk me and make me eat. That's politics. So politics is kind of like having a family. And people have never understood. I don't know if people don't understand that or people don't go through those classes. The things that Africa and the geo-African, geo-economical or geopolitical society that we live in Africa, we really don't understand that politics is to our benefit. It's not about back and forth. It's not about Azimio. It's not about UDA. Just because you're UDA, you don't jump on the other side. The politics, the geographical part of politics is what makes the country become a geographically recognized situation, or even a place to be recognized in the whole world. Because that's when you call the Chinas of today, the United States of today, that's when you have the F-16s and, the military being scrambled to go to a place where they're told, okay, you go to this location where you're given unapewa 1, 2, 3 location with numbers. That's the reason that in JKIA, when they're coming to land, they still, they still talk to the ATC. Why? Because it's also geographically accepted and understood that it's a place that you are there, so that the same language that you will use when we had the first long-haul flight that we've ever had of our country to come to the US, the 15-hour flight, Kenya Airways flight, you'll find the ATC over here will talk the same way. The ATC on the other side, maybe with a little bit of an accent different. That all is brought by the politics of where you live. If you have bad politics, then you start fighting. Somalia had bad politics. And today there's no government. We're trying to get them back into the government. Congo also had bad politics. What happened? Ethiopia has never been colonized by anyone in the whole world. Ethiopia has never been colonized. So never had really good, any kind of politics. So for them, they do what they want to do. What is really happening, and when you talk about the dollar effect, is also politics. If you have a bad politics in your country, it's going to fall down. that country is going to fall down. The time of Kibaki had an economy where the dollar was 63, I believe, at the time, because I remember $63. I mean, 63 shillings per dollar. Today, when you look at it, I think today I was looking, we were at 146. That's almost double. With what? At the time, we didn't even have Thika Highway. That was the time Thika Highway was coming up. And the Bagathi Highway, where we were trying to do, not doing, trying to do concrete highways, which has survived until today. And what I'm trying to do is to try and just walk it out to a point where we need to understand that sometimes it's not about being on the UDS side or being on the Azimio side. It's about our country. It's about where do we stand in the world. First of all, if anything was to happen to us, could we really sustain ourselves? Yes, proven. We did stand against Al-Shabaab. With what is happening today, are we sure if we can stand against Al-Shabaab? Ukraine had to stand against a superpower, and they're standing against them. And that is also the politics about it, because they played their politics well. They had a president that actually really loved their country. They did not have their demagogues that their ships are being confiscated everywhere in in Britain, in the US, in whatever maritime you're just fighting getting these ships being gotten everywhere. But again, now here you have a country that is fighting with a superpower and another one is not a superpower. But because the one that is not a superpower has good politics that is actually Mwananchi invented, and then you have this other one that is more of the demagogues, and the other one is actually supposed to be the second largest military power, but they cannot even fight the small power. Why? Because the small power is united and has its politics into themselves, not just demagogues. Why am I saying this? Is because the politics of Kenya, where it's come to a place where, first of all, everybody knows that we've been in Africa, one of the most peaceful countries that has never had any kind of war. The closest we came to a war when Jomo Kenyatta said, tutatuma ndege 3 za kivita na tukituma zikuji kusalimia nyanya zenyu. That's when they wanted to take our country mpaka Naivasha, for those who remember those days, or for those who have known about that. Bad politics. That was Idi Amin, but tulimkanyaga. But today, as Africa, and where we were, we've demystified ourselves, that we've gone so low that we cannot even reclaim Migingo. Because the person that we have, first of all, knows is illegitimate and is fighting so much to legitimize himself. And by the time he's fighting that, he actually does not want a handshake, which we don't want a handshake. We want what is ours. But he's fighting so much that he can fight through everything and forget taking care of Kenyan, any kind of Kenyan. because he wants to fight so much to legitimize himself. And if he has to use the religion, he will use the religion to legitimize himself to be a president. Hata kama atavaa bulletproof vest, atavaa to prove that he is the president. Yet we all know he's not. And this time we know for a fact, because the first time we couldn't get it. But this time we took our chances. And let me tell you, Diaspora are great people, because Diaspora went and sat down and did that because there's engineers. Joe Musheru came from Google to ICT, straight from Google. Mtu akarecogniziwa. I don't even know who's the ICT today. I bet you he'll be one of his friends. Sijui, Leo, maybe you can tell me who's the ICT minister today. Maybe you can tell me.
The ICT minister is not doing anything related to ICT. He's doing things that are different from ICT. Eli Doano. That guy is a consultant. He's not upstairs. Those people are just draining his brain. They are misusing those wonderful brains of Eli Doano. And they are, Ruto gives you a ministry and assigns you roles. So you are made the minister of ICT, but they don't assign you such roles. He's assigned to go and visit the funerals, and he's assigned roles of trying to demean Raila Odinga in Nyanza. He's assigned to go and distribute relief food, the work for the Minister of Special whatever. So the guy is smart, but the job description, you are given a ministry with a different job description. That is the problem that we're having currently. Ruto cannot work with smart people. If you are smart, ni kama wamejua vizuri, wewe Mato, wewe ni mwalimu mzuri sana, you are a teacher of maybe maths and physics, then they employ you as a teacher of maths and physics, then wanaenda wanakupatia kazi ya kufundisha PE, physical education. That is what Ruto does.
And you see what you just said, Mr. Moderator, you see what you just said. And that's a problem, because someone wants to know, wants to feel that he knows everything. You see, one thing I liked about Uhuru, even though I hated him to the beginning, at the beginning, the guy actually understood that people needed, like Matiang'i, he knew uni mtu atashikilia hii kitu. The one that we just buried, education CS, Magoha, he knew that, okay, this is your department, you take it, this is what you're good at. Ruto wants to be good at everything, and you cannot be good at everything that you want to do. You can either be the only thing good is Ruto, good thing that Ruto is corruption na vitu za wash. Uhuru stayed away from it mpaka katokata social media. You wouldn't find Uhuru other than the prayer whatever breakfast. That's the only thing he could do. We're on a lockerhead right now of our country, moving 30 years behind from what we were. I was so mad today, and I was so devastated today when I heard that watu wamecancel zile barabara zilikuwa zimekiwe. Yet we just had a superhighway, the first superhighway in our country. That now they are backtracking all that thing. And you remember when we had Thika Highway, how much happy everybody was, like, hey, Kibaki, talk about Thika Highway, Kibaki. Now we have a super highway that was going all the way to Mombasa. Now I'm hearing they're taking it all away. And again, Mr. Chair, I want to ask you a question. Did Uhuru use his personal money to run the government? Or were we paying taxes that paid all these things? Why wasn't Uhuru having so much strain than these people are having? At the same time, they're being given billions that had been taken away from them by the courts back to them. And there's no court, there's no cases. We know the Cilicia MP had been jailed and asked to pay really ridiculous money, which I was feeling, sorry for him a little bit. But now he's free and his money is back. Aisha Jumwa, these billions that we hear, what kind of country are we running to? I mean, what kind of country are we running? What is it that we're doing? I mean, me, I don't know, Mr. Chair, tafadhali uniambie, because me, at some point, I'm at a place where I just want to stop talking about politics, talking about anything, because I don't think there's any more politics we're talking. I think we're talking about criminals that needs to be in jail, that should have been in jail, and I miss Kamata Friday. For them to be going to jail and na sasa wamejiokoa. I don't know. When nyindo mtaniambia, wewe na Mr. G, because I feel there's BS going around here and we need our country and we keep on going that way. Muliona Congo walikuwa na kata hatutaki. Why? Because the military is not going there for in peace. They're just going there to get something. We know what Kisimayo happened, Maka. And why? We know why the minister today of internal security, Ndwale, we know why he is there. Because he was the Kisimayo Maka person. You can tell him to come and arrest me. That's fine. I'll put my case through. But the thing is that Kenya, we are in a very wrong trajectory, and wherever we are going, kama mulikuwaga mnasikia South Sudan, Somalia, I bet you huko ndio mnaenda. Na tuacha kusema UDA Azimio, tukue Kenya moja, because where are we going? Mi naumia. Mr. Moderator, thank you so much for giving me that time. Nile niko na uchungu ndani yangu, acha nikuwe kama Roda, karibu niombe. Ile uchungu iko ndani yangu. When I look at these things and let me just say this. I'll say it here. It doesn't make any sense, Mr. Leo and Mr. G. It doesn't make sense for someone like Mato to come and build a skyscraper in a first world country through a job, an engineering job, and not be able to build it back at my home. And not that I'm asking for any passes. That is what Tomboya had started. To have a skyscraper that you can say, this is a skyscraper that I designed. But back at home, there's nothing and you cannot go there. It does not mean, and I'm not the only one. The IT in our job is a Kenyan, but cannot work in Kenya. He runs a big company, a company that can build skyscrapers, where one of them, a Kenyan like me, can design a skyscraper in the US, cannot design it back at home because of the corruption down there and because of the mess down there, to where you're getting your kids in the US, not in Kenya, and you try.
Are we losing?
That's all I'm going to say. Both of you, that's all I'm going to say. I have never opened up as I've opened up today. And let's stop using religion to hoodwink our people. It's not right. It's not right in God's name. It's not right in man's name. And it's not right in everything that we do in our lives. Mr. Chair, wacha ninyamazia hapo, alafu mwingine akiingia mimi nitachomoka because I have to work kesho. Actually, not even work. I am going to celebrate the Chiefs game. We won. I'm going for the parade.
I think you should just give people should be giving their final submissions as we are winding up. Huh?
Okay, mine. That was mine.
All right. So let us hear from Mr. G. We almost 13 hours, which is
Okay,
really
thank
long.
you, Leo. You know, Kenya with love, there's no way unaweza nichukua then you take me to a place where I don't know, uniweke kwa dark room alafu niambie nitoke. In my own house where I have been there, alafu uniweke in dark room nitatoka, but a place where I have never been alafu uniweke in the dark room siwezi toka. This government is led by a blind man, mtu ambaye hajajua vile devolution inafanya kazi, na ni mtu wa kwanza ambaye alikuwa anapinga. This guy, we cannot expect anything good from him. Ni mtu ambaye amekuwa akipinga everything that watu walikuwa wanajaribu kuleta ambayo inaweza saidia wananchi wa chini. You know, right now is just a time to make a decision. Na kusema hatumtaki vile watu wamesema watu wa chini. Tuachane na our MPs, those people who are in the lawmakers. Most of them ni watu ambao wana njaa na dazo wamenunuliwa na hizo pesa ambao unaona zimenunuliwa hizo 50 billions ambao wanasema sio wamenunuliwa. Those are people ambao wamechanga, hawana interest na mwananchi wa chini, hawana jitakia wenyewe kwa wenyewe. Mimi my last remark ni kuwa guys should just rise up na to take our own victory back. There's no way we shall ever address this issue kama tuwezi address sahi. Because kama nikujaribu tumejaribu njia zote imeshindikana. This is the right time now we can just use this opportunity to address our issue by protesting. Na protesting iko kwa constitution, si ati kitu ambacho haiko kwa constitution, iko, and it is our right. South in Israel they did it yesterday and they are still pushing for it. Kwa sababu gani? Hawapendi how the government is leading. Na sisi pia hatujapenda when government ina lead. It's a government that was hijack his way on the seat. Na that's why they are leading us on the wrong way. Hatuwezi kuendelea nayo kukaa. This is just the first time about people should learn from us as Kenyan. What kitu ambayo ita happen iwe as an example kwa countries zingine ambazo zinapenda kufanya ukuzi kama huu. Kwa sababu ni ukuzi. There's no way somebody ata win alafu mtu ambaye hajashinda na anakuja kupewa nini winning. Wacha our votes count. Na kucount ni lazima watu waende kwa street. Haitakuwa rahisi tukisema tunaendelea kupush. And Raila, I'm still saying Raila asiendelee kutuweka sana, asiweke sana, watu wamechoka. People wanangoja tu waambiwe leo twende wataenda. Like my friend ambaye amekuwa hapa, huyu ni jamaa ambaye tumekuwa na kuna kitu alikuwa anakutangaza kwa ofisi yetu, akasikia tukiongea. Anasema hawa watu wanatuchelewesha, tunafaa tuende, na ni mtu ambaye tujaongea. Huyu mtu hajaisikia hii station, this is the first time amesikia. But ameamua kuja aongea aseme kwa no, yeye pia afraid na what is happening in Kenya. Na hivyo ndo watu wengi hapa kwa nini hapa chini wanasikia. And that's why leo I was pushing for this thing, if possible iende for 24/7. Watu wengi bado hawajapata message, wanangoja kusikia message kwa TV. Na watu kama hao ni watu ambao wanaweza changia pia kwa sababu wamefika pia mwisho. Na si ati mtu ambaye hajasoma, na mtu ambaye amesoma. Na for us we are pushing, si ati sisi tunalala njaa, hatulali njaa, but we are pushing kwa sababu tunataka the right isimame. Ikiwa mtu amevote, his vote should count. That's what we are crying for. Na this nation wakati mingiza wa Kenya kwa mambo ya Christianity, sasa nimetuharibia kabisa kwa sababu watu wengi wanapenda kubelieve Christianity. Wanasema kwa Christian mtu mbaya kwa kanisa ndio mtu ambaye anasema ukweli. Ona watu ambao kwa kanisani sahihi. Almost 90%. Wacha sema 80 niseme 90, wacha sema 80% ni watu ambao wanafuata miracles. Na kwa sababu hiyo pastors, prophets and apostles wamegundua kwa watu wanafuata miracles, wana fake miracles. That's why mtu anaweza kuambia chukua maji uende ukunywe utapona, kitu ambacho si dawa. Watu wanakuambia chukua ufagio itapiga mashetani. Yaani vitu ambazo haiko, yaani the logic ambayo haifanyi kazi. But people still follow those guys. Unapata mpaka mtu anashika hii kamba, anainuliwa juu, anadanganya watu, anapepea, anaenda mbinguni sasa. Mpaka anatolewa juu ya dari. Lakini still watu wana worship, wanasema huyu ndio Mungu wa kweli. Look at what's happening in Western side. Kuna mtu amejitokeza ati ndio Yesu sasa mwenyewe. Upuzi. Na tukisema upuzi si ati tunatukana wa Christian, hapana. We are Christians. But what is happening in ndio kitu ambacho imeleta upuzi. Na inaharibu akili za watu wetu. Unapata the same people wananyanyasa watu wa chini wakiwadanganya wanachukua pesa kwao. Na hivi tunakuwa tunaachilia inaendelea kupanda kila siku. Maskini anaenda anauza kuku yake analeta kanisani, mtu anakula na mdanganya kuwa kesho utapona. Mtu anamwambia leta milioni 5, leta milioni 1 sasa kesho utapata milioni 50. Which logic is that? Utapata vipi milioni 50 kama hujafanya kazi? Wapi utokota pesa sasa? Watu wote tunahitaji baraka, but tuseme ukweli. Kama Christians imekuwa ya uongo, watu watoke kwa uongo, wakuje kwa ukweli. Yule Mungu ambao watakuwa naabudu kitambo ndio tunataka. The God wa Paul, the God wa Peter, ule ambaye Anania na Safira alikuwa anakuja anadanganya kwa wameuza vitu wanapeana sacrifice kwa altar, kumbe walikuwa wanadanganya. They are strike na wanakufa hapo. That is the God that we need right now. Si mtu ambaye anakuja kukuambia tukua toa 50 leo, toa 50,000 leo, kesho unapata 300,000. Uongo tu, anakula pesa yako. Guys, let's open up our minds and our eyes to see. Watu ambao tunadanganya tuwakatee. Wakristo ambao wamevaa ngozi ya kondoo, na kumbe numba mwitu ndani, tuwajue na tuwaseme hao watu watoke. Waje kudanganya watu wetu, wanaumiza watu wetu sana. Leo I think I will stop there, but watu wanafaa wajue kwa imefika wakati wa kusema ukweli.
Thank you. Kwa kweli imefika wakati wa kusema ukweli na hatufai kudanganyana. Tumedanganyana for long. It's not the right time that tunafaa kuendelea kudanganyana. These guys have to go and we have to ensure they go. We have to come up with ways and we are coming up with ways. Hata tutatafuta pay bill hapa. Uchange pesa. Tuhakikishe kuwa hawa watu tumewatuma nyumbani na wameenda nyumbani. Otherwise, let me just take this opportunity to thank everybody who joined the show, the ones who participated, the ones who contributed, maybe through their comments, through their submissions. I saw people like Alex. Yes.
We don't need any money don't need any money. We don't need any money to change our nation. Our nation has to come from our hearts. Our hearts. The way I love my country, the way you love your country wherever you are, the way Mr. G loves his country, the way his workmate loves his country, it has to come from our heart. Unless it comes from our heart, listen what? We will always have people coming here, and when we're trying to have a conversation, a really conversation that we could have off the media, conversation about what do you do, what do I do, how can we connect our, how we do and everything. We can never do that by talking about money and something to make you do what you want to do. When I wake up in the morning and I want to go to work, like Alex, you can see Alex is asking me, am I going to work in the morning? Alex is my very good friend. Thank you, Alex. Alex knows I have to be in the morning, to be at work in the morning. And that's why he's asking me that question. But you see, that's somebody that is asking me, he is not asking for any money. He's just asking me for that. Now, why would you want to be asked for money, or why would you want to contribute any kind of money for your house to grow? And your house is your country. If your country grows, Leo grows, Mr. G grows, everybody grows. We don't need that. We need to have the motivation of saying no is no. And the thing is that the money is the problem, and that's what Ruto knows, to bring people into that. And that's the thing that we need to stop about talking about the money, but having been patriots of our country, of knowing that sometimes I don't need to come and develop a different country but I can develop my own country. And look at what Leo does, and in what way can Leo develop that same country in the places that he can develop. We cannot fit in the same boat. What I do, you cannot do. What you do, I cannot do. What Mr. G does, I cannot do. Neither can you. So we move on and we get all that energy together and bring that country up. And then instead of running into the United States of these days and running into the UKs of these days and running